Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast. It's Thursday night. You know what? Thursday night is our night. And it's the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct on our YouTube channels. Also, for those, let me shout out to the YouTube people first, man. Those on the YouTube side, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Pound that like button for us so we can get the algorithm going. So we appreciate you so much, and share the channel. Those that's listening on the podcasting side, we say hello to you, and make sure you give us that 5-star review on Spotify and on Apple, and also leave us a comment. And as D-Dub always said, man, like us or hate us, man, leave something, man. We're just trying to get better, grow the channel, do everything we need to do as we talk about the world of sports, because we love to talk about this thing called sports. Hey, we're going to meet the crew. Let's start off with the hockey dude. Dan, what's going on, brother? It's your time of year. No, football's kind of getting ready to fade out the way, and a little bit more focus on hockey. Hockey is front and center, along with, the NBA. What's up, Dan? What's going on tonight, man? How are you?
Not much. It's good to be here. Good to see everybody here. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's. Let's get the ball rolling. There's a lot to talk about.
Yep, surely is, man. Happy New Year to everybody. Yes, this is our first show on for the new year. We did not do any gridiron or fourth and short due to the holidays focusing on Monday, and there was a lot of sports to talk about on Mondays, which we will delve into here in a little bit. Let's meet the Angry One. Angry One, what's good, brother? Got his NY hat on, repping New York City.
That's right.
And you said
That's
New York
right.
City.
Dan, what you shaking your head, Dad? Come on, Dad. Don't start it off the new year like this, man. Come on, man. Happy New Year, everybody. The Sports Chasers is back where we belong. Thursday nights. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Let's get into it. D-Dub, what's up? D-Dub has on a what hat?
Yeah, that's, that Detroit Fire. What up, though? Yeah, that's what we doing. What's up, Kip? What up, fellas? How you doing?
What's good, man? Happy New Year to you, bro.
Make sure you're eligible.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. That's a whole, bro. Yo,
no, 68 is up to
you talk about Friday, a lot of games. Yeah, Saturday, it kicked it off Saturday, and that was like crazy. But we here to talk about it.
No doubt, we're here to talk about it. DA got dropped off the network here for a second. He'll rejoin us. He has some technical difficulties behind the boards. Our super producer Junior is back there, DJ, making it happening with all the graphics and all the wonderful things that you'll see coming up. He's behind the scenes. Yep, we got a machine behind us right now, so he's making it do what it do, man. But further ado, like I said, we're gonna talk some NHL hockey. We're going to talk some NBA. Ryan will join us at the 8 o'clock hour with some NBA. We got a lot to talk about with Ryan. Cough. Yeah, the NBA, kind of hard to watch sometimes. Hey, my Knicks were on prime time last night, man. The game started at 8:30, man. Jeez. But Knicks pulled it out against the Bulls. The Bulls are awful, man. They just awful franchise, man. Just I don't know who's worse, the Bulls. Well, no, Detroit. Detroit finally got a win. Shout out to the Pistons. They got their win. D-Dub, would you be getting the Pistons at it?
No, sir. No, I would not. and the Pistons only won that game because the Raptors were short. So
the Raptors were dressed like 8 people.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just be clear. All right, let's be clear with that. Let's not get too happy. It is what it is. But Detroit got some. I feel sorry for Monty Williams. It's kind of bad over there.
Yeah, it's definitely bad for Detroit, man. And he's back. He's back fresh off the IR. The DA, what's up, man? There he goes. What's happening, bro? Glad to see my brother back in the building.
Glad to be back. Brand new knee, so I can break my foot off in these referees' asses. So, yeah, we all good.
Okay. DA has not missed a beat, as y'all can see. His mouth was not injured. Without further ado,
pause.
As I tell you, boy.
Hey, yo.
Yo,
Whatever, man.
don't know what the fuck we doing now. Like, damn.
That boy is wild, boy.
We're going to hockey. That's what we're doing. Dan, go ahead. Go ahead with hockey. Dan's with the hockey. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, man. Whatever, guys. Can't stand it.
Yeah. Well, I saw Junior's Super 16 list, and I'm sorry, buddy. We're close, but not quite. So I got a few changes to that lineup.
All right.
Just looking, I'm not going to go too deep in this because probably 12 through 16 aren't that good right now. But Rangers still overall, I got them number one, even though they got shellacked.
Yeah, they got smoked by Carolina.
By Carolina.
6-1.
Yeah.
My man up in the comments already talking his shit.
6-1.
He was down there at the release post talking shit to me. And I'm like, dude, you're talking to the wrong person. I said, you need to talk to the man that got you
Yeah,
that.
V-Lac. Shout out to V-Lac, Debbie, mom watching. Yeah. V-Lac, where you been, bro? Where you been, man? Yeah, you should have called me last night. Yeah, if you wanted to bag on the range, just call me D-Dub, man.
Yeah,
it's a little for you, man. I still got that 704, so let's go, man. Let's get it. Go ahead, Dan.
But yeah, so I still got them. I mean, they're 6-4 in their last 10. Obviously, they got work the other night. But right now, they're playing Chicago's AHL team in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
They're up 1.
Come on, Dan.
Hey, I'm not saying that because they're bad. I'm saying that's because that's who they got playing. They got they showed I was watching earlier before we got on, and I saw the graphic. They got 7 veteran guys: Seth Jones, Taylor Hall, Tyler Johnson, Reddish. Who else? I mean, damn, their top 6 forwards and their top defensemen are out. So, I mean, they're struggling to keep healthy bodies on the ice. So, don't mean to disrespect in that sense. I just mean they really are playing those guys because that's how they had to call everybody up. But in number 2, I went with Boston. They're struggling too a little bit. They're 5-2-3, but they've won 4 in a row. They had a little skid there of 3-4 games that they lost. Right now, I think they're playing Pittsburgh and Boston. I believe it's 3-2 Pittsburgh. Nobody's playing defense so far in the first. And then number 3, I got the Canucks, which I think shortly here they should be making a trip to Madison Square Garden to play the Rangers. But they're still first in goals, 5th in defense. They are 7-1-2 in their last 10. They've been playing really well. And then we got Colorado, last 10, 7-2-1. The surprise here is kind of Winnipeg's, number 6 or 5. They're slowly, quietly creeping under the radar. In the Western Conference, they're 7-1-2 in their last 10. But they've been playing really well. What was it? Yeah, they 121 goals, only gave up 90. They're plus 31. They're on a 3-game win streak. They're playing really well. Number 6, I got Vegas, who I believe later this evening is playing the number 7 team in Florida, and that's in Vegas though. But both of those teams, Florida's 6-4 in the last 10, Vegas is 4-5. Who they played in the Winter Classic. I don't know if anybody watched that on Monday from Seattle. I can't remember their baseball stadium, but it was in there. And as they like to say on Shoresy, bums in seats. That place was jam packed.
Yeah, T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Yeah.
And Kraken won that game 3-0. I caught bits and pieces of that game because I had to be at adult daycare later that evening. And then I got Dallas at number 8, and number 9 I got the Canes, and then number 10 I got the Leafs. They're hanging around. They did squeak by Anaheim the other night, 2-1 in overtime. But the team that I think, we talked about this earlier, we're probably at the midpoint or close to it. Edmonton's still out of the playoff picture, but they've been on kind of a roll this last little bit. McDavid, I think it was the night before when they played Philly. I think he had a goal and 4 assists.
Mm.
He cracked the 900 points for his career in 602 games, which is stupid.
Wow.
I mean, he's only 26 too, so.
Dan, let me interject I know you're on a roll. Have the talks of possibly moving him quieted down, being that they
Well, they weren't going to move him. Edmonton would never trade him unless he wants to go.
okay, being that they got to such a rocky start. So
Well, like we said, they dropped the coach, took a little bit, but now they're playing better. Like they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. They're starting to heat up, but luckily, Arizona's in front of them. They should be able to catch them. So even though they dug a huge hole, they're slowly getting out of it.
very huge hole.
So that's like the team, like I had them at 16, because I know they're going to catch Arizona, but Arizona's been playing well. They're 6-4 in their last 10, which is a surprise, for them, because they're usually at the bottom. But then, like Seattle and Pittsburgh are two of the teams that are outside the playoffs that have been playing really well in their last 10. Seattle's 7-1-2, won 5 in a row, and Pittsburgh 7-2-1. So,
They're pretty much that hot team right now.
Yeah, and Seattle's right behind.
Yeah,
they're tied with Edmonton.
Right.
They just played more games, so I think probably both those teams will work their way into the bottom bracket of the West.
Yeah, I think when we talking about 3 games, I believe.
Yeah, I think they should get in. But then, like Kucherov, for Tampa Bay, he's leading the league in scoring with 27 goals, 36 assists, 63 points. McKinnon from the Avalanche has got 61, 20 goals, 41 assists. And then, I know we talked about this probably a couple of weeks ago. And I was saying, like, McDavid's out of the top 15 in scoring. Well, guess what? Now he's number 3. He's got 53 points, 14 goals, and 39 assists. And of course, the Bedard watch, he's got 33 points, 15 goals, 18 assists. The kid is playing really good, on a depleted team. I think it was the other night they won 2-1 in overtime, and he had both their goals. So it gave the kid time. I mean, he's only 18. But there's some other things that I won, if anybody got questions about the NHL, I'll take those. And then there's a couple other things I wanted to touch on.
I want to know how Panarin got snubbed from the All-Star team. Let's take that one before you
start
got
there.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Yeah,
because I want to say he's like one of their top scorers.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I know the All-Star. It's it does make sense because these guys do get incentives. Excuse me. So yeah, let me not say that. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. The only reason I can think is that the way they're doing this now is the 3-on-3, so there's less guys going. And you only have like, what was it? They do it by the Metro and whatever the other
Metro, Atlantic. Sorry, Metro, Central, whatever. How they do it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got
they do it by divisions. Atlantic, Metropolitan. And then they do it from the
Pacific
Central
and the Pacific.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I think you get like one center or one winger. You know what I mean? You got like 6 forwards and probably 3 or 4 defensemen. Well, probably 3 defensemen. And then you probably got 2 goalies. It's probably the breakdown of that. So that's probably why he kind of got hosed, because, Matthews is, not much for passing the puck, but he's on a tear goal scoring wise. But yeah, Panarin's got 51 points.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I was like, wow. When I saw the All-Star list come out, I was like, dang, Panarin didn't make it. So,
well, did they actually put out who to vote for, or did they put out the actual rosters?
I think at least I just got alert that they put out the rosters. I could be mistaken. Maybe have D put it up here for a second, but that's what I got. So
yeah, but that's oof. Because here's my thing though. So who you taking instead of him? Like obviously Shesterkin's probably going to go for the goalie,
He got picked, correct.
and
He's not having,
He's not having the
best year. Actually,
best season.
Jonathan Quick has been playing better in goalie for the Rangers.
but remember he got hurt.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
And he was
100%.
out. He was out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get the rust off.
Mhm.
So it like I said, it'd take him probably 3 to 5 games to get back into.
He took a beating last night, boy. I tell you.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to the best. Probably maybe Fox got it in there too. That I don't know. That whole like the way they're doing it now just drops the amount of people that go.
Sounds like you're not pleased.
I mean, it's better than the Pro Bowl. I'll say that.
Don't you get me started, Dan? No.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
A 2-hand touch.
They're doing that on Sundays now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention the World Juniors is going on right now
Yes, sir.
in was it Sweden, and USA beat Finland today 3-2 to make the finals, and Sweden beat the Czechs 5-2. So tomorrow, Friday, they should Canada or USA and Sweden will be playing in the finals, and Canada got bumped in the semis or the quarterfinals. They got beat by the Czechs 3-2, but it's sad that like a lot of these kids are getting death threats and nasty messages because they lost.
Wow.
And it's like, come on now.
Is it just
Dude,
a game?
let's put this: the dude the Rangers are playing tonight is still eligible and could be playing for Team Canada right now, and Connor Bedard. Same with Shane Wright from Seattle. So it's not like they have their full complement of eligible players. It just so happens that some of them are good enough that they're playing in the NHL instead of juniors. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes because Sweden looks really, really tough. And I saw some highlights of the USA Finland game.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude, his name's Snuggergaard. He took a one-timer from like just inside the blue line. Oh my God, was that a missile? Like, go ahead, no chance. All you heard was ting off the top bar and in.
Dang.
And it was like, oh, hey, it went in. And goalie turned around and finally figured out where the puck was. But I'll be interested to see how that goes because Team USA, I mean, they don't have Logan Cooley, who's eligible, plays for, was it Anaheim? But yeah, those dudes are playing really good. And then the other one I wanted to touch on is it's hard to find information about this league. But the Professional Women's Hockey League started.
I heard about that.
Was it? I want to say it was January 1st.
Yeah.
Or they may have started on the 2nd, but it started the new year. But there you got 6 teams, 3 U.S. teams, 3 Canadian teams. So you got Boston, Minnesota, and New York. And then you have Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto as the Canadian teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of going through their website and looking at stuff, and they really don't say how many games they play. Like you'd have to sit there and go through the entire schedule of one team and count them all up. And I wasn't about to do that, but I was looking at the rosters and stuff like that. Like Boston's got Hillary Knight. Minnesota's got Kendall Coyne. New York has Alex Carpenter and Abby Roque. And then Montreal, they have Marie-Philippe Poulin for Canada and Brianna Jenner was playing for Ottawa. And then Sarah Nurse is playing for Toronto. So it's like if you watch the Olympics or the the World Championships that they play, like it's every 2 years they have a tournament for the ladies. It's the same people playing in this league. It seems like on every roster they got the Canadian, U.S. and and obviously other European nations being represented. But the one thing I thought was super cool about this league is have we been bitching about the point scoring system in the NHL?
Right.
So they went to the 3-point system. So if you win in regulation, you get 3. If you lose, you get 0.
And
Now, you get 2 points if you win an OT or a shootout, but you only get 1 point if you lose the OT or the shootout. So if you win, it emphasizes winning in the regular time. Because if you watch the NHL and it gets late in the game and it's tied and the team's on the road, you see them sit on the puck. They're
Right.
they're not actively trying to score because they know another 20 seconds, we're going to overtime. We got 1 point. And that's kind of where this parity comes in the NHL. Because, like, technically, Boston has 52 points compared to the Rangers' 51. But, you know, there are 23 wins. Rangers have 25. Why wouldn't the Rangers be ahead of them? It's because of all these overtimes.
right.
They got six points in the overtime. You know, so it's like they play for the tie on the road, get your point, and if you can win in the shoot or the overtime portion, or you can win the shootout, you get your 2. If not, you still get a point.
Hey, Dan, quick question. With the women's professional league, based upon and there's a big love for women's college hockey, at least for the schools that have it and that are good at it. Does it look like they'll have room, money, or the will to expand the league based upon the fact that they will have players? They will have young ladies that are willing to play and can play. Is there any plans as to how they're going to figure that out? If it's just going to be 16, for how many years it's going to be 16, or any plans that you've heard of? They may not have it fleshed out yet. I'm just asking.
Well, I don't think they have like set. I mean, I'm sure they want expansion, but I don't know that that's something that is laid out in stone as like a goal at the end of year 2. We want 8 teams or whatever. But the thing with the women's game is, like you said, there's all these college teams or colleges that have teams for the ladies, like Minnesota. Like you look at something like Wisconsin, Minnesota, and you know the Great Lakes area teams and Upper New York teams.
Boston University.
That you're going to have, you know, a supply and demand. Like you're going to have players that can play at a high level, and this really works out too for the national teams, whether it be Canada or it's USA, because now they have somewhere to play year round, like their season, and then you know have a break, train, and then if it's you know one of the years where they're going to have you know the tournament or the Olympics, that you know they don't have to get together and play like a 6-game you know exhibition thing to get ready to go play in these things. They're going to be in game shape more than they would if they're doing it the way they're doing it now. I love it. I think it's great. And I saw some of this. Like I saw the girl, I think it was from New York, that scored the first ever goal in the league. But I'm almost positive that they may not have the same international rules about body checking. Because it seemed a bit, as they say, rough and physical. Like I saw some body checks getting thrown that you normally don't see in the game, and there's no calls on them. So it wasn't like it was behind the play or something. It was right in front of the referee. So I'm assuming that they're letting that stuff go a little bit.
Got you. What kind of size rinks are they playing in, Dan?
Well, I was looking like at some of where they were playing. I think it was Ottawa and Montreal on the 2nd. They had 8,318 in attendance, and that was their like record so far in attendance. Let's see, what is it?
More than Arizona.
Yeah, there's more seats than that. Let's see, it should tell you where. Let me see schedule. So look, like Minnesota, you know, they're playing in the Wilds building. They're playing in the XL Energy Center.
Okay.
New York is. You guys might know this. The UBS Arena is that.
That's where the Islanders play at.
Okay, so they're playing there, and then like Toronto is playing in the Matami Athletics Center.
I don't know.
I'm not. They're not playing in Toronto
where the Maple Leafs and the Raptors play. Yeah,
and then Montreal plays in the Verdun Auditorium. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like some of these move around. So like Ottawa, like one of their games is in, like they got the TD place. Yeah, their TD place. But like Montreal's the Verdun Auditorium. I don't think that's Montreal's home place. And then what's the other one? Yeah, see, these games move around. So like New York plays in the Total Mortgage Arena.
Okay.
So it's like a tour. It's going to be like kind of a barnstorming thing.
Well, I think it's because its availability is part of the issue. It
Right.
probably with especially if there's like so they're playing in the Place Bell Center in Montreal. That's probably Montreal's male team's arena.
Yeah.
But kudos to them. Like they had a couple. I'm trying to remember the names, but they had a couple. There was 2 leagues at one time, and it kind of dissolved, and then they came up with this one,
Okay.
and merged. I think the 2 of them, and really, it comes down to as they say, bums in seats and advertising dollars. If they can get like TSN, I was looking on their website for some of this other information, and I saw that they had a section for them on there under the far right under the more, and they actually are broadcasting some of these games.
Oh, okay, good.
So good for them. And you might be the old Fire Stick. I know there's a section for TSN somewhere on there.
Yep.
You could probably check one of these games out.
Okay.
Dan, I gotta ask the question. I'll be remiss if I don't ask. Is this going to last? Is this going to be around? Are they going to start crying that they don't get enough money and they don't get paid like the men?
Dan, you have a minute to answer this question.
Just 1 minute, just real quick.
I can answer this right now. They're not the U.S. soccer team.
Okay, all right.
See,
just have to ask.
Think about this though. Think about this. When it comes down to winning a championship, and they hand the captain the trophy, and he holds it up in the air, and then they pass it around, and then he immediately gets interviewed. You can ask him any question, and you can ask it straight to him. It's never, I did this, or I was able to do something, this, that, or other. No, it's we. It's always about the team. That's true of the women's game just as much as it is the men's game. It's never about I. So they will go forward as a group. But the real thing is, if they can get the advertising dollars and get some of these games televised like TSN, if they can get a U.S. network to broadcast them, I could.
Sky's the limit.
I could see this growing to probably like, I don't know, 12 teams, like doubling it, because there's enough big markets.
My thing is, if they size it the right way, if you size it the right way and target your audience, they'll be fine and it'll grow organically. You just can't, try to run before you walk. That's all.
And I don't
some money.
I don't think it's like the NHL where they're playing 82 games. If I had to guess, it looks probably around 30, 35.
Half of that. Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Dan, anything else with hockey before we move on to the NBA with Ryan DeSouza?
Oh, I can't wait, Ryan.
I'm good.
Oh,
The hockey dude with all the hockey and the NHL, man. Dan, thank you so much, man, for coming through on the hockey tip. Now we move to the NBA. We missed Ryan sorely last week. Ryan could not be with us. He had other obligations the last week, man. But Ryan's here to address all drama and to address all things with the NBA. Ryan, take it away, bro. How are you tonight? Happy New Year to my brother. Thank you, Ryan.
No problem, man. What's up, fellas, man? My apologies for last week, bro. But yeah, man. I'm back, man. I'm back. The NBA's in full swing. You know what I'm saying?
Fantastic.
yep, it's swinging.
Swinging
and missing.
Yeah, but it's some stuff going on. I'm still shocked that Minnesota's number 1 in the West. You got the Thunder at number 2.
Are we really that shocked, Ryan? Are we really that shocked?
I'm not shocked. I told y'all Ant-Man's number 1 player in the league.
You did say that.
Yeah, because you've been seeing this for the last 2 years. So go ahead.
I mean, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, guys. Yes, I'm shocked.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked. But kudos to them, man. They figured it out. They figured out how to play with the big lineup. When everybody's going small, everybody's playing 5 out, and and have one big that can roll, and they embraced going big, and I got to give them kudos. Got to give them some kudos for going big. So they're figuring it out, and it was going to take time. You
gonna shout my Knicks out for figuring it out?
Nick, listen. It was a good. I like the trade for both teams, but in trades, there's give and take when it comes to trades. Kevin and I had a conversation about
we talked about that last night. Yep.
Yeah. So with OG, you're gonna get that quintessential 3-and-D guy, right? Who has a big body. He's physical. He can guard 1 through 5. He's amazing. He's gonna hit that corner 3. All right. But on the offensive end, you don't have to run plays for him, which I think is good because Brunson and Randall, they hold the ball so much. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, and that's another reason why RJ really couldn't get off and be, what we think he is, because RJ is not getting that usage. He's not getting the touches. You know what I'm saying? It's players got to touch the ball and dribble the ball. And when you have two dominant people who control the ball, as in Randall and Brunson, it's hard to be consistent. So but where you guys, the Knicks, exceptional trade for them as far as the 3-and-D guy, because most teams have a 3 that you have to stop. You know what I mean? Or a wing player you have to stop. But the thing,
and that's what I meant about figuring it out. I'm talking about the Timberwolves. They put OG on Ant-Man,
right?
And Ant-Man did not get off.
No, because Ant-Man can't shoot over him.
Correct. That's what I meant.
And he's just as I'm not gonna say he's quicker or more explosive than Ant-Man.
He's
but
a
he's
7'2" wingspan. He's very long.
Exactly. Yeah. So he can get beat and still recover.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To not block the shot, but bother the shot. You know what I mean? So it's great, but you did lose quickly.
Yeah.
And you did lose RJ. What I'm concerned about with this trade, and I think you're gonna have to get another true scorer in there that really don't need that doesn't need to have to handle the ball to get his scoring. But you need correct, somebody like that who can play off of people but still score. Quickly has to have the ball in his hands and dance with it to score. RJ is sort of like that guy that guy you could have had, but he was just very inconsistent. And but where you got better defensively, man, if Randall and Brunson have bad games, if one of them have a bad game, it's going to be a struggle offensively. If one of them if both of them have a bad game, you can forget it. You're gonna struggle to score. That's when you had Quickly or even RJ. You know what I'm saying? If they're scoring, you give the ball to Quickly and say, Quickly, go ahead and go.
Get a couple buckets, right?
Quickly's gonna get to the line. Quickly's gonna is gonna push the pace. So it's with trades, it's a give and take. I understand why the Knicks did it, because now I think you as a team you're more balanced. You know what I mean? So and to be honest, OG Anunoby is Tibbs's dream player.
He's a Tibbs guy.
Yeah, absolutely,
100%.
absolutely. He's a Tibbs guy, but I do believe the Knicks have to get another score in there.
Yeah, angry one. We love Tibbs over here. What's up, angry man?
We sure do. Yo, man, I'm sorry. Yo, man.
Yo, this man has a problem with Tibbs. This one and this guy by the name of DA, they got a problem with Tibbs.
Whoa, DA.
DA about to get fined.
the thing with Tibbs is he's so loyal. He's loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you guys just brought back a dinosaur. What's his name? I can't even think of his name. Guy hasn't played in so long.
I know
I'm
he's
like,
you talk about the
Taj
Taj Gibson. Yes, thank you, JR.
Yes.
thanks, JR. Taj Gibson. I'm like, you couldn't find somebody else in Taj Gibson? You know what I'm saying? Look, I know he knows your system, but damn, you know what I mean?
God.
But what you're concerned with Tibbs is now he's going to run those starters into the ground. They're going to play heavy minutes.
That's what he do. That's what he do.
That's what.
That's exactly what.
Right.
Hey,
so
the
now
the 9-man rotation. And he starts this early.
Right. So where do you go? Like, you have the Villanova guys. You know what I'm saying? You have your DiVincenzo. You have your Harts. They're good guys, but you really can't count on them offensively. They're gonna scrap, and they're gonna do all the dirty work, and they'll hit a three every now and again. But you can't count on their offense.
In a 7-game series, you're absolutely correct.
Right.
In a 7-game series is going to be hard now. Like
They'll
regular season games, they look great regular season, but when you get to these 7-game series, every other night, every other night, it's going to be tough, and that's why they need that next guy. DeRozan is not a bad idea to be
honest. Not a bad idea.
I say this all the time, man, especially in the NBA, man. There's really, and it shouldn't be this way, but it's been this way since we were kids. So you're going to have a regular season NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to allow you to do that. But that regular season NBA team is never going to win the championship. Because the championship team is being built to win the championship. Like they're being built to have, our 2 scorers went down. We got this dude here that we've had in shrink wrap, bubble wrap all year. And now he's going to have 30 points in 2 games and then we're good.
Right.
The Knicks don't have that dude. We don't have a dude coming off the bench doing it. Period. Like we can play all year, regular season.
Well,
but we can't do it in the playoffs. Though.
Yeah, you had that dude in quickly. That's why I'm saying it's a give and take.
But he's the only way. The only way you could get a good player like OG for size is to give up a Quickly and an RJ. And I'm telling you, just keep this name in your mind, Tim Hardaway Jr.
That's not bad.
And then say RJ, because that's what RJ is going to do in 2 years.
Listen.
He'll come back and bust the Knicks' asses because the kid can play.
Listen.
The reason his confidence is off is because of Tibbs. Tibbs never let the boy even shoot.
Correct. That's not a bad guy to even trade for. Who can score?
I don't want him back. It's the 5th time around. What is it? A cab?
I know, but
it said 3rd time's a charm, bro. I mean,
I said 5. It's like the 5th time around. Why would we do that?
Right, but what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, in the last game against Minnesota, what I mean, both Brunson and Randall, they went for like high 30s,
30 apiece,
30 plus.
30 plus
high 30s, and
again last night,
and again last night, and and the games are into balance. You know what I'm saying? You get that out of those 2 guys, you got to be blowing teams out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen like that. But like I said, you got to get like you said, Da. You got to in order to get, you got to give. I think. I thought they could have probably gave up RJ and maybe some first round picks to do it and keep Quickly, but do the Knicks want to pay Quickly? That's the problem.
Right, because
that's why he's not there no more.
That was the problem. You know what I'm saying? So did they want to invest that money into Quickly when they know they already have Brunson, who's so ball dominant, and Randall, who's so ball dominant? So you're basically wasting Quickly's talent. Yes. It kind of reminds me of, I'm not comparing them as players, but at that age, it kind of reminds me of when Harden got traded from OKC and went to Houston, and then he got all this usage, and then he just blossomed into like this, perennial all-time NBA player. I'm not saying Quickly's gonna do that, but Quickly does have the skill set to become something like that. He kind of reminds me of a little bit of Maxey
That's
It
what
Yeah,
makes
Papa
sense.
said. He's a little
100%.
Maxi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maxi can shoot a little bit better, but the problem with the Knicks, in my opinion, I'll be quiet after this. The problem with the Knicks, in my opinion, is depth is always going to be a problem with them, right? They don't have the depth. The team is not. I'm not going to say it's not built correctly because there's no stand fast template for doing it. But what I can say is, and I've said this for years, if Julius Randle is your best player, you're not a championship team. Because on the championship team, he's a 2, maybe a 3 option.
You're not a championship team if he's your second best player. He has to be your third best player.
Yes. So, and so we still hear the Donovan Mitchell talk and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, dog, I'm not sure.
But what are you going to give up to get him? You already gave up 2 of your best pieces.
I wouldn't give up anything to get him at all because there's not enough balls on the court if he's there too. So that's not going to happen. The Knicks really have to. I'm gonna shut up, man.
To be honest with you, the Knicks should have gave up Grimes instead of quickly.
Nah, but you ain't gonna get that for Grimes. You ain't gonna get that much for Grimes.
You ain't gonna get that much.
Right. And also too with the Knicks, right? So losing Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Was your center? I mean, that set y'all back because that dude was playing phenomenal basketball.
He was going off. Yes, he was.
Money making Mitch, my man. Money making Mitch.
Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, I mean, he was balling like I even from last year, man. I was praising the Knicks on what they were doing. And I will say this with Brunson, right? I would like to see Brunson get his facilitating going a little bit than always trying to score. He had like 14, 15 assists that a game ago, but he shot like 5 for 26. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was kind of weird. You know, he was still getting his shots up, but he was still facilitating. So I know he could do it. He has to get more his teammates more involved, and he can play off the ball. You know, and because to me, I think he's just a natural scorer. He's not a terrific shooter, but he can score. His footwork in the paint for a guard is amazing. Amazing. His post game is amazing as a guard. So he can play off the ball because you saw him do that with Luka. Luka dominated the ball and he played off of Luka. So getting a DeMar DeRozan, you know, something like that with a scoring punch. Getting maybe the other guy that plays for the Bulls, the 2 guard.
That's not going to happen.
Levine.
Levine.
I'm not.
Zach Levine?
I'm just saying you need somebody who can score with the punch.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like and Zach Levine doesn't have to dance with the ball. DeMar doesn't have to dance with the ball. Quickly had to dance with the ball to be effective. Okay. So
he just has to be healthy. That's all. Right. Zach has to be as healthy.
Zach, I know his draft stock is not high right now, but Zach, somebody gets a Levine on a contending team right now, can kind of push them over the top because he can score. He can.
The Lakers want him now.
Right. The Lakers want everybody, bro. They're a mess.
Yeah, well, they're about to fire Darvin Ham now. So
how are they blaming Darvin Ham for this when he just went to the conference finals? They just won the in-season tournament.
I've got nothing to say.
How is it his fault now?
Because the in-season tournament don't mean nothing. It doesn't exist.
The in-season tournament championship?
It don't mean anything. It doesn't exist.
Is this a question you asking about Darvin Ham? Why they blaming him?
Why are they blaming him?
Ryan, you can't.
No.
Same reason why they blamed
No. The reason why I say this, right? Okay, if they were struggling and AD was missing a bunch of time and LeBron was missing a bunch of time, those guys have been relatively healthy. Austin Reeves has been relatively healthy. Blame those guys. Look at all the teams who are way above 500 who has players out. Kyrie Irving hasn't even played in however long. The Dallas Mavericks are games over 500. You know what I'm saying?
That's because the organization. Well, listen, I don't want to get into that conversation because that's really long. But
Right.
you can't have that the team being kidnapped by players and we're going to get this guy and get that guy. You got to let the guys that build teams build the team.
Correct.
And then you play. Now, the Lakers have always had a problem doing that, going back to Magic Johnson getting coaches fired back when we were kids. But the reality is this: if you are going to do it right. If you are going to do it right, so that you can win. The reality is that they built the team. They let the tail wag the dog, meaning to say the news and the talking heads tell us that the Lakers had such a great off season.
Bro, they had a mediocre off season.
I agree with you, and mediocre is probably 4 steps too high for me. But what I am saying is, we were told that this team, Hachimura, this is what they were supposed to be.
He's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Now, we get there, and you're not doing anything because you're putting too much stock in an in-season tournament rather than being a good team. No, because listen, the reality is
they were a good team.
No, because they lost the next 6 games after the tournament.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
So that means you was concentrating on the wrong goddamn thing because the other 7 games mean as much as that trophy 7 games.
But what about Indiana? Indiana went to the finals in the in-season tournament.
They don't pay a dude $1 billion a year. They got 1 star on that team.
That's what I'm saying. Blame the stars. Blame them.
They've never done
stars.
That.
Yo,
They've
blame them.
They're not going to do that, bro.
They're not going to do it. But as fantastic as AD has been playing, and he's been playing fantastic. Okay, as fantastic as LeBron has been playing, you know what the problem with them with the Lakers are? They put too much stock in Austin Reeves, man. Too much stock in him. You think he's your 3rd best player? If he's your 3rd best player, you're in trouble.
Well, that's what they thought.
So who's their 3rd best player?
I didn't say it. That's what they said.
I'm just saying, but that's what you see. Okay. Austin Rivers, catches you by surprise because you don't really know his game. But now he's on the scouting report. Now what?
We said that last year, Ryan. We said this last year in the playoffs.
I'm just saying.
You said this last year in the playoffs. Just want you to know this is what we said. Don't get gas, Cypher Sounds. Don't get gas.
Don't.
Ryan, let me steer this. Let me steer this conversation to NBA because we got a few more minutes before you, man.
Yeah.
And man, I really wish you was on last week, man. But as you can see, the guys is fired up as always. Speaking about surprises, Oklahoma City, man. And my main man that's there. That's D Warren's man. D Dubs man. What's his name?
SGA.
Hey, come on,
Gilgeous Alex.
No, Shea is
Gilgeous
right now.
Alexander.
Yes,
he's a top 5 player in the league. It's a top 5 player in the league.
And then they're number 2 in the West, if I'm not mistaken.
They're number 2 in the West. They Chet is playing well.
Chet, baby.
Everybody knows their role on that team. That's what it is. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows, okay, SGA is gonna go, okay. And then they have like the ultimate role players, man. It's like, they're all doing their part, but then SGA is closing games. He's a closer. So if the games are close, they just lost a tough game to Atlanta last night.
Yeah, 141, 138.
Right, but they just came off of beating Boston, right?
Yeah, 127, 123 the night
exactly.
Before,
so
2 nights ago.
Yeah, so you're high from that win, and you put you put all your stock into beating Boston. It was a letdown, but they're still a young team, so you got to expect a letdown every now and again for a young team. No, they're fantastic, and not only that, bro, Kev, they still have all kind of assets and picks.
Yes.
But you said a certain just now that made this is what I've been saying is that everybody has their role. And you know what role is most important? The scouts and administration of watching for players, with the good players, who we have to pay, who we don't want to pay, what we're doing with this, what we're doing with that, and let's build us a team.
Right.
That's all.
Listen, there's one thing about Sam Presti All right. The man can, he can eye talent.
He knows personnel. Yes, he does.
He knows personnel, right? So like, when he drafted Westbrook, I'm like, damn, he take Westbrook. I think Westbrook was like a 6-man on at UCLA.
UCLA.
Or,
He didn't play point guard at UCLA.
Or something like that. I mean, I don't give him credit for taking Kevin Durant. That's a no-brainer. But even the James Harden pick was questioned a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they picked James Harden so high. The backlash he always took was Harden turned into one of the all-time great regular season guy, and then you basically got nothing for him. And and you could have waived Perkins or Serge Ibaka at the time and kept the three of them together. And Harden wanted to stay, so he takes flack for that. But man, the man knows, and his scouting team, like you said, DA, his scouting team knows how to get talent, bro. Knows how to get talent. So no, they look good. They look good.
Yeah, so like you said, you was surprised with Minnesota. Like I said,
I'm surprised with Minnesota. I'm surprised with OKC being there. Denver's just going through the motions of the regular.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're going through the malaise of the regular season.
I like Orlando. They got like 85 guards.
Orlando's just playing 5 out, bro. Because even their bigs are playing like guard. They're just wearing you out and just pushing the pace on you all day long.
Use what you got. You got the kids. Just do it.
Absolutely. I go ahead, Kev. You had a question?
No, I'd say anything else before we cut to the college football. Anything else you got? We got the All-Star game coming up in February here.
Right, we got the trade deadline before the All-Star game. So the trade deadline is coming up. I'm real interested to see what the Knicks are going to do again. That can probably make them contenders. I don't think they're contenders right now. When I say contenders, I mean contenders to win the championship. Go ahead, Big Dog.
Hey, one question: Where do you see Golden State?
State.
Are they finished, or is it
sounds like it's over to me?
I'm never gonna say they're finished because of Steph. I have too much respect for Steph Curry, and I'm being a Rockets fan. Steph Curry the last 10 years had just destroyed us. So I'm not gonna say they're finished because of him, but it's not looking good, man. Like Klay is basically done. And what I mean by done, I mean to his standards. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm not saying he sucks or anything like that. But what it is,
you just saying he's washed.
Yeah.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
For his standards. Because basically,
he's washed. Ryan, go ahead.
No, you can't keep running off screens and all you're doing is running all game and running off screens and doing this. And running off picks and not slowing your game down when you're in your mid-30s, coming off an Achilles tear and coming off an ACL injury. You're just not going to have that kind of lift, and that's why his jump shot is struggling because he doesn't have those legs anymore, right? So I don't know what's going to happen with Draymond. They say he's supposed to be coming back soon.
Soon?
Yeah.
I saw that this morning. I said, I said, soon ? Too. Go ahead.
Yeah. They said he can go back to the facility. They're ramping him up to come back very soon. So it looked like he's only going to miss like between 10 and 15 games.
Was he going to be a wrestler or MMA?
Right. So I know the Lakers want him. Cause him and LeBron are like bosom buddies, so you know what I'm saying? Like,
God, okay, the geriatric club. Go ahead, man.
I'm just saying, but I will never, to answer your question, I would never say they're out because of that assassin Steph Curry, man. I got to give him his props, bro. I can't. A team with him on there, I'm never going to count out. Do I think they're gonna make a deep run in the playoffs? No, but are they going to make the play-in tournament? I believe so, and it might be, because my Rockets just not ready yet. But the Rockets, I like what the Rockets have done. You know what I'm saying? They went from the worst defensive team to a top 7 defensive team. So I didn't say Klay was washed. Clay's just not. Clay's not. Klay is washed to his standards, but he can still be productive.
We're gonna Ryan say, "Yo, Klay is washed," and it go viral.
It's just yo, is that it's the wrong team and they're not using them right. I mean, I just think Steve Kerr is going to the well.
Well, they're trying to play him the same way you've been playing him for years. And I don't know if you guys saw this, right? With Agent Zero, what's his name again? Gilbert Arenas. When Gilbert Arenas came out on his podcast and said, "Why hasn't Klay add anything else to his game?" And I thought no, you didn't. No, you do have to. As you get older, you have to add to your game. You can't keep being the same person.
They made no demands of him. They made no demands of that man.
Right.
Any better doing anything else.
Say it again, DJ. Say it again.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, but you as a player gotta be like, I gotta add this to my game. You know what I'm saying? I just can't be a spot up shooter. Like they run. He goes. He goes. He has no post game. Klay is like a legit 6'7", 6'8" with a strong body. He's not like muscular or nothing, but he you know what I'm saying? He's big for a two guard.
So what you're saying, Trey, is Steve Kerr is a trash coach, right? Yes,
bro. Let me tell you,
he didn't demand.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, and he also enabled Draymond to act a fool every 2 minutes. Right?
Ryan standing on business.
Yeah.
So not only that, like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? He adopted a team that was ready to take off, and now he got the credit that Mark Jackson built.
Should have got yes, sir.
Ryan, say that again, 100%.
Yeah, everybody knows that though.
Right. And I believe we talked about this briefly, but to Steve Kerr's credit, he always gives Mark Jackson credit. To his credit,
yeah.
He always does. But you can't keep playing the same way. And then they bring in Chris Paul. I don't know what that was. You're gonna bring in Chris Paul, another old guy who's gonna slow it down. I just, you know what I'm saying, and no, that's not going. That's not AARP. That's just not gonna work. That's just not gonna work.
That's what that sounded like. Sounded like something for AARP.
Right. And not only that too, Steve Kerr refused to play the young guys the last 2 years. The Kumingas, the Wisemans, the Moody's.
Yeah, he didn't even give Wiseman a chance.
He didn't even give him a chance. Why'd you draft him as a number 2 pick? You could have had LaMelo. You could have had another guy. You know what I'm saying? They just wasted a pick. So and that's why the GM is on ESPN Countdown now, because he wanted them to play him, and that was the clash.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We must move on. He is Ryan DeSouza. He's our. Yeah.
I can't go no
more.
We was just getting started. We got to bring Ryan.
We got man. He's our NBA insider contributor. He's Ryan DeSouza. Thank you so much, Ryan, for coming through. Ryan, you gonna hang around?
Yes, sir. Take care, brother.
I'm hanging out, bro. Once I'm here, bro.
That's what's up. Well, let's get it in. I know DA got a lot to say on this subject. College football. Hey, we're in the height of the bowl season. As you know, the playoffs are going on. Bowl season. I don't know any memorable bowl games you guys watched this weekend, man. I actually got offered tickets to the Orange Bowl down here, and I declined.
Yeah, you decline like the players.
I actually got offered free tickets in the 100 sections, and my statement to these people, to the people that offer, I said, "Hey, we know you're the sports guy." I said, "No, thank you. That is not going to be a game." And true to and plus I was sick. So true to what I know about sports, been watching sports all my life. What happened? And I'm setting this up. Georgia brought all their people to Miami Gardens to just trounce on the Florida State team 63-3. Now, wait, I'll say this because all the Florida State fans, oh my God, they didn't dress all their people. Well, y'all said y'all was supposed to be in the thing.
Oh, they would have. I got, man. I can't. I'm not going to get mad at that, Kevin, because I believe
Well, no, I'm gonna push back a little bit, DA, because they said they was worthy of being in the playoff, and you playing a playoff team, and so
I
this
think
is what you do.
Let's listen.
I think if they had a situation where, and I know it doesn't make sense, and but we're in like brand new territory, right? But
Yes, we are.
keep it 100, right? If they would have made it to the tournament and they were playing the game to win the national championship, everybody would have been there.
Everybody would have been there.
Now, the fact that they weren't is because you're playing for no reason.
No reason at all.
And I'm not going to go out here and get hurt when I could be in Arizona working out for the NFL.
Correct. Now, can I add to that?
Go ahead. I'll push back with y'all. Go ahead.
And you already told them their whole regular season didn't matter. You already told them that. You already told the team the whole regular season didn't matter. So why does a meaningless bowl game, all these bowl games, if you're not in a hunt to win the national championship, all these bowl games are high-end exhibition games. That's all they are. Period.
I push back on all of that.
Hold on, Kev.
Go ahead.
But so you already said what they did by going undefeated in a Power 5 conference. Okay, they had the most Power 5 wins. Their out of conference schedule. They scheduled 2 SEC teams and beat them both, and one had the Heisman Trophy winner on it. Spanked them. Okay, and then you tell teams what it's about. It's about winning through adversity, right? It's about finding a way to win. Okay, what other team could win with their second string and third string quarterbacks and still win the game? Whether it was ugly or not, they found a way to win. So what the college committee did, they prognosticated instead of giving to the team that deserved it and earned it on the field. Period. Yep. If we
who was your 4? And then I'll let you go. Who was your 4? If you had a vote,
who was my 4?
Yeah, who was your 4?
My 4 was Michigan, Washington, Florida State, and Georgia. Alabama, they wanted Alabama in that game. So listen, Alabama just barely squeaked by Auburn on a Hail Mary pass, and Auburn is crap this year. Barely squeaked by on a Hail Mary pass. They should have had 2 losses. But what happened? They found a way to win. Not only did the committee jump Florida State with a 1-win team, they did it with 2 one-loss teams. And the only reason why Texas got in is because they wanted Alabama in so bad because of Nick Saban, and you couldn't put Alabama in and not put Texas in because Texas beat Alabama in Alabama.
So,
and I'm not going to say much more than this. I keep it very honest with you, Ryan. Listen, if Georgia was in this tournament, they win the championship.
Absolutely.
End of story. Not even a conversation.
Absolutely.
Anybody that knows football a little bit knows that whoever Georgia would have played, or these other 3 teams, they would have beat them the same fucking way.
Let me tell you something. How does the number 1 team lose 1 game and fall to 6, and the number 8 team lose a game and go to 4? What kind of sense does that make?
Listen, I'm with you, but all the Florida State people whine.
They did it on purpose, man. They all set out to prove a point.
I get you.
They sabotage.
They sabotage. You sabotage us, we gonna sabotage y'all. Y'all think we gonna get blown out? Okay, cool. And they might have still got blown out by Georgia.
Then
they might have still got blown out by Georgia.
I say all this. Then why didn't they just go all 100 and just didn't play the game? Because they was talking about we wasn't gonna show up and play the game.
Or they didn't want to.
They didn't. But then the school loses out on the money. You can't do that.
Oh, we standing on principle now. Really?
No.
Oh no, it's not my principle. It's the NCAA principle.
It's the NCAA principle. It's what you. I mean, they already sold tickets to the game.
Why did I say no? Why did I say no to sit in the 100 section? Why did I say no?
Because they weren't coming with their A game.
Go ahead. No, Dan was first.
Oh man, then we got Dan, the angry one. Go ahead, Dan.
Dan, go. Go.
Oh, we done? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put it point blank. I got no dog in the race. Strength of schedule 55. You played any of those 4 teams, they still whip the wheels off you with all your players. Without your quarterback, the same result. That's no choice about that. Number 2, The reason why they did that is because they let in who beat the shit out of TCU?
TCU.
Yeah.
And then they got smashed by Georgia in the next game. They weren't going to have that in the Final Four, and they knew it didn't matter which of the 4 played. Whether the other 3 they played, that was going to happen, and they did not want that.
But
number two, the reason why Alabama's in, they beat Georgia to win this SEC championship. So they both had 1 loss, but they beat them in the game that counts.
Yeah, I got no problem with Alabama being there.
That's why Georgia went to 5 or 6. Because guess what? They're below Alabama now because they lost that game.
Let me ask you something. If Alabama loses to Georgia, right? Do you think Texas still gets in?
No.
Probably yes.
No, they don't. They don't get in.
Because FSU
the only reason why Texas got in is because they beat Alabama. So they could not justify putting Alabama in and Texas out because Texas already beat them head to head.
Well, see, this is the problem with
if Alabama has 2 losses, Texas win. They would have put Florida State in there.
No, they're not. They're still not.
Of course, they would put.
This is
why Florida State in there.
Nope.
This is why, gentlemen, I said before they took my knee away, that
okay,
the computer has to be the computer, man, because all the rest of this shit that we're talking right now is the problem, right? So because you cannot leave it up to human beings to do.
Well, next year we ain't got to worry about it. They let in 12.
No. It doesn't matter because it's still going to be beat.
It's going to be even worse.
It's still going to be because the 13 and 14 team going to feel like they got hosed.
So let's real quick, and I'm gonna get off this topic, and I'm gonna let y'all talk about it because I'm getting tired. But let me tell you. So we have a situation here where Texas beat Alabama, right? First game of the year. Right, which is you get scheduled a hard game and you win, you should get props for that. But in years past, 54 years old, I can't tell you how many times I have heard, well, the Alabama team now is not the same team that lost the first game of the year. They're a totally different team. And you heard it all week. So that's how they prime you for either way, making sure Texas doesn't get in. The reality is this, man, you have to take the teams, their schedules, who they play, their conference, and what happens in their conference, and rank the teams by putting all that information into the computer and hit enter. And let enter come back and tell you exactly who the 5 best teams are. Because
the computer is wrong.
No, the computer has never been wrong. People just didn't like the answer the computer gave. But the computer is never wrong in the BCS days. Never wrong. Because you never had these games where cats were getting blown out by 1,000 points in a championship game. Because the computer is going to give you teams that are on the same level. Listen, I'm an IT guy, man. I'm telling you, that's the way this shit works. Now, you put these people in this room and let them say, oh, well, Texas beat Alabama. Well, that was a different goddamn Alabama team. They had no experience. And maybe Texas is no good. Maybe they got hurt over the course of the year and now they're not right? Because Florida State won and then they lost their quarterback. They're a different team. And Dan is right. They probably got whomped anyway. But the reality is they did deserve to be there. They did deserve to be there because
let them get whomped. Let them get their asses kicked in. You can't go prognosticating because you think they're gonna get blown out.
Again.
They won all their games with a 3rd string quarterback.
Thank TCU. Don't thank the BCS.
No, but you can't.
TCU.
No.
Yeah.
Let me let
TCU wasn't supposed to be there last year.
Let me let E get into this.
TCU is not in a Power 5 conference.
No, they're Big 12.
That was your point. You were undefeated.
Well,
No,
shit, Liberty's in a.
in a Power 5 conference, they're undefeated. The ACC is a Power 5 conference.
In basketball, maybe.
What are you talking about? ACC is
No,
a Power 5 conference.
No,
man. What are you talking-
TCU is in the same conference as Oklahoma. They beat them last year. That's the Big 12. They were the best team. But the reality is this: they didn't belong there last year, right? Just like Liberty didn't belong in a BCS game, FBS game this year. All because you got a card to the dance doesn't mean you need to be at the dance, right? I mean, kids got wheeled out of the Liberty game, like for real.
Liberty was an underage team.
They got beat the hell down, and you just can't let these kids in there because well, we got our FBS card.
For as bad the ACC, y'all claim the ACC is, like my man JR just said, the ACC versus the SEC this year was 6-4, and the ACC won the conference matchups.
Well, they just probably wouldn't do it in the big game. I guess I don't know. And I guess it's worse because the dudes in the ACC don't want to be there no more. So I guess that kind of goes.
Let me get Eric. Go ahead and put on this or put the fire out.
I'm gonna be real.
Put more fire on it. Put more fire.
Because I'm like Dan.
More fire.
I don't have no horse in the race because I love sports, but I cannot stand the current state of college football. This is exactly why. Okay. And I've been pondering about this for weeks. And me and D-Dub was talking, and what he said is absolutely right. Just what DA said just a little while ago, absolutely right. Put this shit back in the hands of the BCS computers and let it be. Because when people see people making decisions, they go ape shit when it doesn't go their way. They go absolute ape.
Exactly.
I would just say this. I was tapped in. I've long standing said that I do not care for college football, not the sport, but because of the politics, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is exactly why. I'm not the one to sit here and talk about strength of schedule and all that shit, right? I understand that it is part of the game. However, for a team to go undefeated, even without their quarterback, regardless of who they played, and for them not to have a chance, a seat at the table, it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me,
bro.
And again, I'm not a state fan or anything like that, right? However, I understand both sides. I understand the business thanks to the sports chasers making me do my research and all this other stuff. So I understand the business side, but as a fan, this fucking sucks of the sport. Not a fan of no college, not a fan of no player, of the sport. Because the powers that be say, oh well, the regular season matters, and winning your conference, it matters. So I understand why Alabama was in there. Not a problem. But Georgia should have been there too. Who would I would have picked?
So
we ain't got enough time to sit for me to sit here and ponder that right now. Go ahead. What's up, D?
Okay, real quick. So now that we go to 12, does this fix everything?
No, don't fix nothing.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Because just like Ryan said a few minutes ago, it's 12, right? It's 12.
The 13, 14, and 15.
Who was 11? Who was 11 last week? And come the week of, they win their championship, but because they lost to West Frogger State week 1, they are now bumped to 15 and they're out.
And not only that, what with them adding the 12 teams, right? So if you play your conference championship, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you're going to be playing an extra game that you can get injuries. So the teams who are like who doesn't play that extra game is going to have an advantage. So I don't like this whole 12 team thing. I don't.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me just say this, Kev. And at the end of the day, you can't please everybody at the end of the day. Regardless of what the decision is, everybody's not going to be happy. And that's just what it is. That's life, folks.
That's the fact.
Dubs, go ahead.
And one quick, and before we move on, how do we have an open portal when the season's not even completed? That's another thing, and that's what goes back to what Eric was saying about it's the system. And the NCAA has a severe
they got what they wanted, man.
problem. They might have got what they wanted, but it's not right. It's out of order.
not
Everything is out
efficient.
of order, D.
No,
It's not right.
What they
And we
wanted.
all know it.
What they wanted.
We all know it.
what,
But we all that's what they wanted. But this chaos is not what is good for the game.
Right, well,
I can say this in my opinion, and I thought that too, and I think I said it to Kevin. I probably said to you too, D. This is a great opportunity. It's not going to happen, but this is a great opportunity for the NCAA to sit back and reset. Who belongs at what level?
Yeah.
Who needs to be playing who? Who's in this conference? Who maybe needs to go down from FBS to FCS?
True.
Who needs to go from FCS to Division I? You know, so you can play good games. You can have games where folks are going to have competitive games, and they're going to have those 60-something to something scores in these non-real bowl games. But a lot of folks don't want to give up the money. But this is the perfect chance for people to reset. Because everybody that's in the ACC, SEC, listen, man, Vanderbilt could probably come out of the SEC, go to the ACC, and be 4 every year. They'd be better than Duke every year. Right? Or better than Wake Forest every year. You just can't have these people in the wrong place thinking that they can do something that they're not. That's all.
Exactly.
And it makes everything looks really bad. It makes it all look really bad.
And Kevin, real quick, and for all you lesser charged schools who just want to get paid, just ask for the money. Ask for a donation so you don't have to send your kids to these games and we making them play. And we get games like 66-3. Stop. Just ask for a donation, man.
I would say this.
That's all I said.
No.
This has been good.
I got the fix, but they don't want it. They don't want it. I
caught
fix
a bunch of shit for saying people going the preseason NFL games were idiots.
You did, Ian. Yeah, on TikTok.
And we're gonna lump some more people into that bowl. If you're going to watch any of these bowl games, except for the Sugar, the Rose Bowl, and the championship game, you're an idiot. Unless you went to that school. Because
totally agree, bro.
Because I saw a good thing with I think it was Joel Klatt and Primetime, like an interview, and and it's true. There's no governing body over like a council or whatever of these portal players when they can move, the fact that they can move while games are still going on, like there needs to be like a cutoff day, like
absolutely.
You can't.
They do have. I believe they do have a cutoff.
No, I'm saying, but it can't be during the season.
They can't be during the season. Gotcha.
Until all the bowls are done, you can't transfer. Sorry.
And why do we need a whole month before these teams play?
And why do we have to have 60 fucking bowls?
To set up the money. That's all to set up the money. All to set up the money.
Gentlemen,
correct. But yeah, this is a long. Go ahead, Kev.
On. Oh my God, this is such one of the best shows. Ryan got me screaming and almost throwing my cap off, man.
Hey, one thing you know about me, I'm gonna bring some energy, boss. Hey, Dan, great debate, Dan. Great debate. Good job, Dan. Me and Dan was fired up. I love it.
This was really, really good. So I'm probably about to we didn't even get into the whole Michigan, Alabama. As y'all know, Michigan, they pulled out the win on Washington. My main man, Michael Pence Jr., beat on Texas. So they'll be meeting up in the championship game on this coming Monday. We'll break that down next week for the sake of time because we are running out of time. We're going to cut to the NFL. Hey, this past Saturday, there was a controversial call. Junior, cue it up. The Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Let's go to the videotape, as my main man, Warner Wolf, used to say. Let's
go to the videotape.
I say, before we roll it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm not up on NFL rules, but the dude that's is that St. Brown maybe? That's the receiver. 68 the second guy.
68 was the lineman.
Yeah, 68 the lineman. Now he's in the tackle position.
He was on the left. There was somebody else inside him though, so he was eligible because you can look there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
he like this where he lined up. He is still eligible.
Yes.
Okay.
He had somebody outside of him off the line back.
Okay.
Yeah. So before the play happened, and you can run it, 3 guys went up to the ref. Let's get all the technology and
controversy that I have to be honest, I think the broadcast team screwed up. So this is very interesting for several.
They got some buffering issues.
Buffer. Bruce Buffer.
Mm.
Are you ready?
Need to run again.
Oh!
This is so.
Protect America's team at all costs. That's all I'm going to say about this shit here.
Taylor Decker is, he's going to run a route here, which you might be wondering, wait a second, he's an offensive lineman. Offensive linemen don't run.
Yes, thank you. Poindexter there.
Man, what a great play.
Oh, that was awesome play.
Yep. So as we run it back again, as you
But
see,
the problem is at the beginning of the play before they even lined up.
Yes.
That's not this. None of this is the problem. All this is good to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all that's legal.
all this
that's
is
great.
legal. But like
The
you said,
problem is that fool standing in the middle behind the linebackers, right? And the stripes. Three men went up. Three men were talking to him before the play started.
Yeah, here you
Ref
go.
messed
And
up.
somebody said to him, "Hey, I'm eligible." Conversation over.
right.
Either it-
He didn't look. He didn't look.
Look, he's running. He's running. Look.
Yeah.
But even before this, if you look at when they're in the huddle, you see Jared Goff grab him, 68, Decker, and say, and points. He says, "Go report."
Yeah.
So you could see that they knew he had to report, and he absolutely went over there. Now the other thing is too is if you watch this referee, he's looking at these two,
Right.
and then he looks back at 70 and kind of like shakes his head, and then he turns his head.
Oh, there you go. He's right there now. We're back a little bit, D. Right there. A little bit. Oh, okay. Now that all three of those gentlemen are there, why is the referee running away? Somebody got the cooties? What is he doing?
Right.
Because he absolutely he acknowledged 70 coming
He
in
said the cooties.
Not,
and like shook his head.
Stop.
right,
Pause.
not only that, if three offensive linemen are not at the line there by the referee, you should know that he's trying to make himself eligible.
Yes.
Why the hell is an offensive lineman going to run to the referee? They're just going to the line if they're not going to be eligible.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go ahead.
And-
Terrible.
And so this crew was supposed to be taken off of everything, but again, they've got a game this weekend because the cheat never stops, and they're going to just have another the guys that burn the French fries every week. They just keep their jobs.
Well, they got pulled from any playoff games. I did hear that. So,
Yeah,
but
they need to be pulled from any game.
what's funny about this with the NFL, they never admit to their wrong. Just say any other organization that's in any kind of, have to take blame. Say, you work for a hospital, police department, the chief of police, the hospital main surgeon, they got to come out. If something was done wrong, they have to come out and say a statement. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, this happened, this such and happened. It was negligence on our part, or, it was a good thing on our part, whatever the case may be.
They don't care about the fans, and billionaires are never wrong. I've said this a million times.
And what I kind of found interesting too on McAfee, it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, and of course they talked about this play and all that. And Aaron brought up a great point. Like, we're going to have these playoff games. Was it not next weekend? But there's a limited amount of games, and there's like 16 crews, 17 crews, or whatever. Probably 16 because there's 32 teams. But when it gets to the playoffs, like, you only need like 6 crews.
Yeah.
Have the top 6 crews do the Saturday games, and then fly them up and make them do the Sunday games, and that would be your reward for performing well in the regular season to get top rated. That you have the best referees, because that's what he said. He goes, who the good referees are, and who the shitty ones are, and that's Goff telling Decker.
Junior,
report.
one more time, and then we're going to move on real quick. Go ahead.
But that's
Y'all know back in the day they used to do that. They used to actually split the team up of referees and get the best from the season based on scores and put them on new teams for the playoffs. But what happened was nepotism, of course. This is my guy. It's been me, Daryl, Kevin all year. I can't really do it without them. But at the same time, it shouldn't be like that where you get the best referees all together, because they haven't worked together all year. So the communication's not there. Like, you do the crews that are the best. Keep them together.
Right.
so that the communication's there. There's no issues. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Right.
That's,
And again, I'm with Kevin. Like, just come on and say, look, man, I messed up.
yeah.
No.
If you're wrong, you're wrong.
I messed up, man. Like, I mean, the refs are not perfect. You know what I'm saying? They can miss a call, but then
Ryan, they cannot miss a call because there's a screen on the field in which you will look at, and it will tell you if it's a number 1 or number 2. You no longer have the right
that's true
to get it wrong.
You have
when you can go look at a screen
you have
on the
replay.
sideline.
Yeah.
You got to no.
No, I said, listen, that's a great point. They could look at the replay and said, no, all 3 of them reported, and then award a 2-point conversion.
Because
right.
don't they review all scoring plays?
Yes, unless we want them to review it, right? You dumbass fans.
Dan, good call on that, Dan. Good call on that. Good call on that.
Dumbass fans.
But see, the problem is you should be able to, like, in certain situations, you should be able to review a penalty.
100%.
Like the kick on the Cowboys that they called.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't kick him. He didn't
Again,
touch him.
Again, Kevin, Dan, like we were just talking about with college football, right? It makes sense that you could go and look at any penalty just to take a look at it, unless you want another team to win out. Now, well, see, we can't review that because then you have this and that happens if you review that. I don't give a fuck. Did the guy hit him before the ball got there? Yes, that's pass interference.
Yeah, get it right. We don't care.
Get it right. And you know what? And if you don't want to make it so punitive, make it a 15-yard penalty like college. Don't put it at the spot of the ball, and then we move on. But we can't sit here and say that we can call everything else, but we can't call that. We can't sit here and say that a quarterback can jump up with the ball, push it over the line, and come back, and it's a touchdown, and the running back falls into the end zone, and the ball comes out, and it's a fumble. It still went over the line.
Or it's a touchback.
Listen. I probably shouldn't add this last topic, but I'm just going to you got 5 seconds to comment on it. Hey, shout out to all my people in the Queen City in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, they started a petition today to get David Tepper out as the owner of the Panthers, man. If y'all don't remember, David Tepper this past weekend in Jacksonville, Florida, he doused a customer, a fan at TIAA Cref Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida, with a drink. I guess the fan was heckling, and David Tepper didn't like what went on, and he absolutely committed a crime. He threw the drink at a fan, and
I'd be suing that ass. I'd be suing that ass.
And it sounds like the people in Charlotte, I don't know who signed the petition, man, but they want him to be gone. He has been he's a joke. He's been really, really troublesome, to say the least. We got it right here. We got my super producer. He pulled it up. Go ahead, roll the tape, producer.
He's definitely not carrying himself as a
there's no sound. You see, getting help. You see, go back a little bit, Junior. As you can see, he's heckling. For those not watching, you can pull it up on YouTube or whatever. You'll see it.
There it goes.
There it goes.
My thing is, why is the owner so close to the fans to begin with?
That's Jacksonville Stadium for you.
Yeah, take your ass to your suite, bro, and be by yourself.
I think that is their suite.
He is in a
suite.
Yeah.
Right, Ryan. I've already talked bad about TIA Cref Bank Stadium on one other episode, and how horrible the parking was. I went to a game there last year.
Hey, I just tell y'all this much.
Go ahead, D.
If Hattie hit me, I'd be scared of any drinks and ice for the rest of my life. I get scared of ice. I get scared of cups. Any cups come near me, I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't know where the NFL security was at for him in this moment. I don't understand why. I mean, if this guy was heckling him, if it was a problem, have him removed. That's how you handle it.
Remove. Get the show.
And for him to be a billionaire owner he just looks really bad. And yo, kudos to whoever decided to start a petition to get him out. Yo, kudos to you, because this is what Ryan Clark really meant. Now, this is what a thug looks like. This is a billionaire owner. This is what Ryan Clark should have said for him, and not for what's the coach in Denver. But anyway, yeah, Tepper looks crazy. He looks like a Ken. That's what he looks like.
You know,
that's what
it's.
That's
Go ahead, Dan.
basically.
Go ahead,
That's what he
Dan.
looks
I
like.
was gonna say it's pretty easy to take a shot at Tepper. You know, if you're a Jacksonville fan, because they are really bad at football. But yeah, like my thing that cracks me up is, you know,
Yeah, they're doing well today, Dan.
They-
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, they're not bad. They won the division.
they find him $300,000 or whatever. That's like
Yeah, 300K.
that's like 35 cents to us. To him. Like,
Yeah.
that's nothing.
1%.
V-Light, did you sign the petition? Yeah, we know it won't matter. Yeah, we know it won't matter. Did you sign the petition?
He started it.
Party
He's-
shots. Party shots.
He's at that thing on the old Word document for like a good 6 months.
I'll give you my closing parting shots. That 300K could pay off my house, my car, and maybe I wouldn't speak to my son for another 8 months or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 300K.
Good gracious.
I need rest
God
and
bless you,
relaxation.
DA.
That's all. Rest and
Thank you, DA, for the party shots. I'll go to the angry one. Glad to have you back, my brother. What you got for us as we close on out?
Hell man. Excellent show to start off the new year, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to everybody that was on board tonight, man. Good to be back. I ain't got nothing heavy, man. Everybody take care of one another, man. Some nasty, ghouly stuff going on out here, man. Make sure that your immune system is straight and up to par. And that's all I got, man. And I do have one thing, man. If you're thinking about playing college football, I'm talking to all these 16 and 17-year-olds out there. If you don't want to feel like a Florida State player, just go to the SEC. That's all I got. You're guaranteed a spot somewhere.
D-Dub, what you got for me, bro?
I ain't got that. Yo, this is a heck of a show. Yo, appreciate all the comments and listeners and people on engaging with us in the chat. We appreciate you. Parting shots. Everybody be good. Like E said, man, pretty much what he wanted to say was to wash your nasty ass hands. Wash your hands, people, and stop being out here in these streets. It is what it is. But what else? NBA tonight, NHL, a couple games. Sunday's the last end of the season for the NFL. Guys, get your picks in. And that's about it, man. Yo, appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next Thursday. Ryan, thanks for showing up. Appreciate
no problem,
you,
brother. Anytime, brother.
Go ahead, Dan. Dan, what you got for us, man? I think Dan is leading the football pool with all of us. Ooh.
No.
By 1 point, I got him. I'm gonna get him.
No. I think I'm down one.
Okay,
you down one? I got you.
I think I'm down one. But yeah, that being said, I'm coming for you. I got some sleepers this week. We try to pull off that.
That's a pause.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Facts.
Dan, don't listen to these guys. Dan, go ahead, man. Jesus Christ.
But real quick, Kevin, you said earlier about them picking the All-Star roster. That's not completely true. They picked one player from each team.
Okay.
The last 12, 8 skaters, 4 goalies, the fans are going to pick.
Okay. All right.
They only picked one off each team so far.
Little fan participation. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's all you got, Dan?
Yep. Do want to say, great to see you again back on the show. Ryan, as always, I love it,
brother. Thank you, brother.
Bring the energy, and we can do
man.
this. We could do this all night
I
off
love
camera.
it, brother. Absolutely. Yeah.
Ryan, what you got for us, man?
Hey, man, as always, guys, thank you for the platform. I appreciate what you guys are doing every week, man. This is not easy stuff to do. People think, it's just a bunch of guys talking sports. Nah, man, it's a lot behind the scenes. Your super producer, man, he's doing great work. All you guys are awesome, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for coming, brother.
Thank you. As always, anytime I call Ryan, Ryan will come unless he has something else going on. Ryan is front and center and it's here, man. I don't have nothing heavy. Appreciate all those that in the YouTube land, all those that's listening to my sound and my voice on the podcasting sound. Shout out. I'm gonna sound like a pastor real quick, man. Hey, those in YouTube land or whatever. Hey, if you know somebody that loves sports, man, yo, send them a bone. Send them to our YouTube channel. Send them.
Pause.
I knew that was coming.
We got to pause this last 2 minutes for Kev, man. He on the road.
Send them the link to the show, whatever the case may be. Let them enjoy, man. Yo, this is one of my favorite shows. I really enjoyed it tonight, and I think the reason why I enjoyed it, I literally was with the panel and me and Ryan going back and forth, and this is what this is about, man. And as Ryan said, you know, we prepare. We come here prepared to talk about sports. We just don't be on here, as Eric said, we don't be on here nilly-willy. We actually research, bring facts, and we hash it out. And, you know, we let it fall where it may be. So, you know, we need some of y'all. We need some more folks to come and engage in the comments. Shout out to everybody in the comments on the YouTube side. Checking this out, man. Thank you for all the guys on the panel, man. I love these guys, man. These guys, man, they just make it do what it do. And we are very excited for 2024. We're also thankful for my super producer behind the scenes, DJ, making it do what it do. Appreciate you, bro, man. And like I said, I don't have anything else. Happy New Year to you guys. We will be reconvening Fourth and Short on Monday night, 7:30. We'll get back to that, and then we'll talk about the college football championship on next Thursday. So we'll get back to that, man. But listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O. Warren, your host and moderator, for Daryl D. Warren, for Dan the Hockey Dude, for Eric the Angry One, for the DA, for our NBA contributor, insider, Ryan DeSouza. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed. Have a great weekend. And yo, we will see you on this coming Monday.
Monday.
Peace.
Monday.